Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday morning. Hope that everybody is getting off to a good start on this beautiful, early, wonderful Sunday morning. Hope that everybody is doing good and staying safe, as always. Welcome to another episode of the Queen Mimi Podcast on our Sunday Positivity Talk. We done woke up this morning. After we do our show, of course, we're gonna be getting out here and driving around like crazy, like a maniac, doing what we gotta do, all that good stuff. Y'all know how it go. Hopefully, y'all gonna be sitting somewhere chilling, enjoying your weekend, enjoying your Sunday, all that good stuff. But anywho, we're gonna get into the topic for today, which we're gonna be talking about youth, growth, and voice, and honoring the woman, or man that you are today. And we're going to talk a little bit, we do mean a little bit, bless you, about our childhood. Um, we, how can we describe ours? We like to describe ours as bittersweet. We've mentioned this, bless you, quite a few times here on the Queen Mimi podcast, and of course, all our shows. We did go through the foster care system two different times. I think we were in elementary school the first time, so we'd probably say around 10, 11 years old. Went back home. Long story short, everything was all fine and good. Then we went through child abuse. That started back up again, and this time we were around 15, about 15, 16 years old. And this time they was like, nope, you got to stay till you turn 18. So yes, technically, however you want to put it, we're a ward of the state of Florida, however they set that up, all that good stuff back then. Um, our mom, like I said, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Our mom, she kept roof over our head, clothes on our back, fed us, all that stuff, and shoes on our feet. We weren't homeless, anything like that. We did go through a lot. We had our good times and the bad times. Went through the emotional abuse, of course, the physical, the verbal abuse, and all them things. And we like to think that's where a lot of our anxiety and all our fear and not wanting to speak up for ourselves or stand up for ourselves, that's where it started. And with us being a mother now, we're a firm believer that whatever you learn and whatever you taught, it's up to the child when they get to a certain age. The rest is up to them. But while you up under, your parents' house or whatever, they're your first teacher. You know what I'm saying? So the disrespect, the way you treat women and men, your relationships, your outlook on life, you grow up and you be a hustler, you grow up and be lazy, whatever the case may be, all that is taught at home. Hate, racism, discrimination, love, whatever, compassion, all that we have learned. You you learn that at home. You're taught that at home. And nobody can tell us or convince us otherwise. Your parents are your first teacher. And a lot of us, just like we did with our kids, taught our children wrong. Now, our family, we come to find out, knew about Islam and chose not to tell us. We found this out through our grandmother, which is a huge part of why we went through what we went through. We was being lied to and misled and not even taught nowhere near the right way. We wanted love, we wanted acceptance, we wanted approval, and we talked about that too. And we sought that in other unhealthy places that we never should have looked. And what we say and what we mean by that is men, yeah, the wrong ones. We sought and we were seeking love and acceptance and approval from other places. So that's why we look at people and we laugh and we tell them, now we already been through a lot before you. People just, they think you a joke. They don't care about what you go through, all that good stuff. And they just think you just as evil person and you ain't gonna be nothing without them or whatever. Like you don't feel pain, all that good stuff, and they just treat you like garbage, like gum under their shoe, not realizing you already had a childhood, what I'm saying, already had a life before them, all that stuff. So we was going through that with our younger sister, who we don't speak to now. She out of a head on her shoulder, so guess everybody think we gonna sniff their behind or kiss their behind to have a place in their life. Mm-mm. You giving us peace and so much calmness and all that ain't even funny. So go do you. We don't give a damn. We good. We can promise you that. And we don't need you in our life. So that's how things have ended up. But we're gonna get into that later on in the show. But basically, to sum everything up, like we said, we had a bittersweet childhood. We had the good moments. Here and there. Our mom took us out. We went out to eat. Game room, beach. Movies and all that good stuff. Like we said, she took care of us. Did a hustle. That's where we got ours from. Believe it or not, that's where we got our hustle from. Watching our mom, whether she had a man in her life or not, she was working. So, like I said, we would give her that, and we will not sit here and say she was a bad person. That's our mom's. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be who we are, believe it or not, if it weren't for her. Gonna get into that too. But we had them moments. It was like walking around on pins and needles, and we was afraid, and it was horrible sometimes. We went through the child abuse, like feeling like we couldn't just do nothing right, and we was just never gonna be good enough, and no matter how hard we tried, and some things we did by accident. You a kid, you don't mean no harm. Some things we did on purpose, so we deserve to get our behind whooped. But it went a little bit too far, and then we find out, she went through some of the things that we went through, so we kind of understood a little bit. You when you grow up around that, what I'm saying, that's all you know. Just like we said with our relationships, we watched our mom argue and go through domestic violence and all that stuff, so that was all we knew. So we actually did understand, and we didn't know that until we got into therapy. Yeah, in foster care, they make you do therapy. We hated it. We didn't see the purpose of it. Just face your issues, deal with it, stop being soft, and we know now. And it is what it is. So we went through all that, but it was like walking around on pins and needles. We were scared all the time and feeling like we had to hide stuff and hide who we are and just not be free. And it was just never good enough, and we was just lazy and sorry and all that stuff. And like I said, a lot of times we did the best we could, and it just wasn't enough. And some days, you know what I'm saying, we was a kid, we didn't feel like cleaning up and doing laundry and all that stuff. But ironically now we appreciate it, because what I'm saying, we're not lazy now. We working and cleaning and doing our laundry, paying bills, and we getting things together. But we appreciate it now. We definitely do. So thanks, mom, all that good stuff. But at that time, like we said, this time around, we was like 15, 16. We would see our mom on the weekends and stuff, because that's the arrangement that I think the courts have, if we remember correctly. And when we spent time, we never really talked or had a close personal relationship. You know what we saying? We rarely ever heard our mom say we was beautiful. We could do anything that we put our mind to. We can achieve the impossible. We hardly even heard the words "I love you." We hardly heard that, and we wasn't really close. You know what I'm saying? We talked about certain things, but we wasn't really close like we wanted to be. We would see other people with their moms and be like, no, my mom's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't enabling nothing that they do or nothing like that. But they close. They can go with their mom and talk to them about things, especially when they're going through something, so on and so forth. We never had the opportunity to do that. We never felt like we could do that, because we just felt like we failed and we let everybody down. And of course, everybody was already laughing, all that good stuff. So we just saying like, don't open up, don't talk, don't share your feelings, don't express none of that. This is where we all, I'm saying, learned everything. All of what we learned, this is where we got it from. And we had to learn over the past couple of years that we had to change all that. So like we said, coming into Islam, we had to get rid of and change and delete a lot of things, and those was one of them. Quite a few of them. You know what we're saying? So we never was really close. We hung out and all that stuff, chill, talk, but we never really sat down and talked about our feelings. We never talked about the child abuse or the foster care, everything that we went through, us getting pregnant and, all the mistakes we made and the stupid decisions we made. We never really sat down and talked about that because we never felt like we could. The door was never open and the invitation was never really there. So, not to take no shot, we just telling the truth, all that good stuff. And like we said, we had some, good childhood memories and stuff. Like we saw, mom would take us out, spend time with us, and we would go game room, movie, all that good stuff. But outside of that, it was just a lot more that we really needed, as a child, as anybody they can relate. You know what I'm saying? You want be close to your parents. You want to feel like you can go to them and talk to them and just be yourself. And even when, we ain't going to say if, when you fall down and mess up, they're going to be there to pick you back up. We all wanted that as a child. We wanted that so bad. But now, going into our 40s, and if our mom called our phone right now, we going to answer. You know what I'm saying? We talked to her a couple months ago. She needed some help. We helped out with some things. Even though we knew we was being scammed, that's still our mom. She took care of us. So that was a test. We still gonna look out. So if she call us right now, we ain't gonna ignore the call. We gonna answer. We not gonna do that because the past is the past, and you raise your kids the best way you can, and you teach them. Like I said, a lot of us teaching our kids wrong, but we just speaking in general, and the rest gonna be up to them. Just like we said with our oldest two kids, everybody think that we don't want them or we don't care about them, and we don't care what they think. We just know what they saying. There's a difference. But we already know what the truth is. But a lot of things, especially that area, in our life, y'all are grown now. We did our jobs. Now the rest is up to you. We here. The door is still open. You choose not to call or keep in contact, babe. We're not finna run after you. We gave you life. Y'all got it backwards. We gave you life. We are not about to do that. Anybody. You exit our life, thank you. That's one less person we got to deal with, worry about, less drama, less stress. Because we gotta take care of ourselves right now. We working on getting ourselves together. You know what we're saying? And no, we do not have it all together. But that's on us. We can't blame moms for that. That's on us. But you know what I'm saying? We learning, we growing, evolving, and you know what I'm saying? We getting better and better every day. Tired as hell, we ain't even finna lie, but that's gonna come with the territory. You got to put in the work. You can't wait and rely on nobody else out of here. But yeah, going through all that, I think we said this already a minute ago, but going through all that, it shaped, our beliefs real early as a child. It challenged our self-worth, our self-esteem, our dreams. Oh, and we got a story about that, but we'll get into that in a minute. Challenged our dreams, our self-worth, our self-esteem, self-acceptance, all that stuff, because we was relying on other people to give that to us. And it shaped a lot of our beliefs and the way we view relationships and men and all that stuff. So it had a huge impact, on our own life. And we didn't even realize it. We was looking at them, watching them, and like, I don't want to be like that. We don't want to be arguing and going back and forth and all that. And we're not gonna give up on the dude because it's times get hard or they ain't got it or whatever. And we used to hear them say all the time, I ain't gonna date nobody if he ain't got no money and all this stuff. We just sitting here like, we don't want to be like that. We've seen so much hate and anger and resentment and bitterness, and we did our best. You know what I'm saying? We fell down, but overall, we was like, yeah, we don't want to be like that at all. We want to be better, and we were so focused on being perfect, and we realized this that's not gonna happen. It's not probable. It's just not gonna happen. You're never gonna be perfect, and you're never gonna be good enough for people that don't even want to be good enough for themselves. So, like we said already, when people criticize you, side note, and judge you, look at their life. That's gonna make you feel a whole lot better. You want their life, or you want something better? Just saying, it's really not hard. So that's why we said with other people, we don't want your life. We don't want to be like you. We want to be like us, like a lot needs and wants us to be. That's it. That's all. It's no shot, no disrespect. You can take it however you want to take it. We really don't care. But we weren't created or designed to be like anybody else. We were not shaped or molded to be like anybody else. We're supposed to be individual, special, unique, just like ourselves. That's it. That's all. I said it's no shot. But all the things we went through, in our I say as a child, our teenage years, this is before we even had kids. So kids came along, that just added to everything. But it's way before we had kids. Things that we went through, and I'm saying as a child, teenage years up until it was like what 17, 18, because that's when we got pregnant. Um, it shaped a lot of things, and it created a lot of things in our life and our own path, our own future, things that we wanted to do. That's when we really like started getting into music, and we would be dancing in our room and stuff and just singing songs and all that stuff. Like we're gonna be on stage one day, I'm gonna do something big, just like anybody. You done heard that story. Like we've been in the room listening to music, hip hop, R&B, we listen to little pop, you know what I'm saying? Not because of color they skin, because we like their music. Everybody made fun of us for that. You listen to them white people and all that. No, it ain't because they white. If they was black singing the same song, we'd be listening to it too. We just like the music. And you never know. Being an artist, you gotta be like diverse. You can't just listen to hip hop and R&B. How you know what I'm saying? You sample somebody's song or whatever, you don't even know what it is. Like, make it make sense. But we'll be in our room dancing and singing music and all that stuff. And that was, how can we say, our little escape from what we was going through and what was going on. And we had our little journal and our diary and all that stuff just to write down our feelings and express it, because like I said, we couldn't talk to nobody. So we, guess we had our little outlet at the time, being in a environment we were in, all that good stuff to I guess we would say as healthy as possible, express what we was going through, and have our little mental escape and just deal with things. And music helped us through so much. Just that's just us, but it helped us through so much. It helped us build up our confidence and our self-esteem, and just encourage us like, you're gonna be all right. You're going through it right now, just like we're telling ourselves now, even as an adult. You're gonna be all right. You're going through a little rough patch right now. And if we could tell our younger self, like, you're gonna be all right, we wish we could. We wish that was possible. We really do. We know that sound corny, but we really do. We wish we could talk to our younger self and be like, look, this is what we turned out to be. You know what I'm saying? You made it. We know it didn't feel like it, but you made it. And who knows, if our younger self would talk to us, we wonder what she would say. Wonder if she would be proud to be like, okay, you're doing it right now. You getting there. And we are. You know what we're saying? Everything we've been through, even them hardships and the ups and downs and the bittersweet childhood that we had, it created who we are now. You know what we're saying? And we do thank Allah for it. And He was right there with us. We didn't know at the time, even when we was going to the house death and all that stuff, still was right there. Like we said, we didn't know. Family did, but we didn't know. And, it created who we are. So people just don't know because they don't take the time to ask or find out. They just come in at a certain point in your life and they think they got you figured out. No, you don't. We've already been through loss and pain and heartache and struggle before you, and you come into our life and add more. Like, people, that's what we say. You think you know us, you don't know us like you think you do. Anybody. We don't talk about our past, not because we're ashamed of it, but it's in the past. You know what I'm saying? So whenever the topic comes up or the subject comes up, yeah, we'll address it. But we're not sitting here still feeling sorry for ourselves or feeling bad or feeling worthless, because now that we have the truth, looking back on it, we were supposed to go through that and we went through it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Was it something that we asked for? No. Was it part of Allah's plan? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. And everything happened for a reason. And it also worked itself out. And look at where we are now. You know what we're saying? Um, Transitioning to from our youth to our adulthood, whew, it took a whole lot of work. We still went through some things, we still had to learn some things, we still bumped our head up against the wall. And for a while we did carry the pain and the burden of the stuff that we went through. We remember mentioning it in our past relationships. You know, saying, my mom didn't love me. Like, you gonna treat me the same way. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because my mom didn't love me. She didn't tell me that she loved me. And I'm saying, this is why I'm failing in my life and all that stuff, because she wasn't there. And I'm saying, I went through foster care. You don't know how it is. We said all that. And that was our excuse for not doing what we supposed to be doing. You know, out here being lazy, all that good stuff, getting in the wrong relationships, everything. And eventually we had to be like, okay, you need to stop using that as an excuse. You got to stop doing that. Yeah, you went through it. It was hard. It was rough. But you got to stop doing that. Your mom did the best she could. It wasn't perfect. You got left with some scars, some bruises, still some little trauma. That's what we was dealing with too. We probably say up until past couple years. Yeah, learn and long. We're still carrying all that. And we had to let it go. You know what I'm saying? No grudge, no anger, none of that. But we had to let it go and get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't do that. And we know a lot of people still do that. You don't know what we do. You don't know how hard it was. Yeah, we all had it hard. So as one person that happened. And ain't no competition, ain't no comparison, but sure as one person that ain't had it hard. Now, unless you was born, and you know people that have, unless you was born with a silver spoon in your mouth, show us one person that ain't had it hard. We know the majority of people on this planet can tell you that. It was not easy. They did not have the ideal upbringing or the ideal childhood. A lot of people we know grew up in the hood. We did too. You know what I'm saying? We learned enough in the streets to be like, don't do that. Keep your mouth shut. Go this way. We learned enough. You know what I'm saying? We ain't finna act like we know little thug was out there busting and selling dope, but now we ain't finna act like that. We not. We, gangster, you know what I'm saying, in our own right, in our own way. So we are not finna do that. But yeah, transitioning that took a minute. We had to let go of some things. We were still getting in the wrong relationships. We was dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? The domestic violence, fighting literally for our life. You know what I'm saying? We had kids along the way, exes, trauma, trust issues, just everything going on, being up one minute and being down the next minute, getting back up, getting back down. It was crazy as hell. Then we get into modeling, we started doing music, which is something we always wanted to do. And then that add on to everything else. We going to school, working full time. We was doing a lot. So while we doing all this, we transitioning, we learning and growing. And like we said, it took a minute. Our resilience had to kick in majorly. Otherwise, we weren't gonna make it. Like I said, the mistakes we made, like we said, being around the wrong people, wrong relationships, seeking approval and a blessing and all that bull crap. Like, no, man, what are you doing? No, you are better than that. And listening to the wrong people and all that stuff, and being blamed for everything, being left for dead, being abused, and just verbally abused and belittled and talked down to, on top of everything we was already dealing with. You know what we're saying? Now we got that on our shoulders. And not one relationship have we been in. People took it off our shoulders. The pain, the struggle, the hardship. They just added more. And then we was wrong, which we know we weren't, for pointing it out. Look, if you don't want to hear it, just say you don't want to hear it. But don't come into our life and you want to add more. You're supposed to come into our life and help us be better. We're supposed to be growing and happy. No, because that was never their intention. And remember, payback is gonna be a beat. They're gonna get what's coming to for not doing what they're supposed to be doing or not doing right by us. We know they think they're good. We know this, but karma ain't got no time frame. Your payment ain't got no time frame. It's coming. That's where we step back. We step back. So transitioning through that, we realize, we're saying we have to stop dealing with a lot of people, cut people off. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we're doing. We had to stop dealing with a lot of people. We had to cut people off, all that good stuff, and just realize they don't mean us no good. They don't care about us. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see us succeed, be happy. We had to realize what we wanted for our life, which was better, and to be happier, be soft, be more feminine, take care of ourselves, love on ourselves, all that. The struggles and the breakthroughs that we went through, and we went through some major breakthroughs. Like they don't love you, they never did. They just tolerate you, they just put up with you, all that good stuff. And as long as you was doing what they wanted, you was their best friend. Oh yeah, we know that's right. You was their best friend. You was all fine and cool with them. And as long as they can use you and drain you, you good. As long as you ain't doing better than them, you good. So all them breakthroughs and stuff that we went through, like say it again, Atlanta was the last straw. Bad relationship after bad one after bad one after bad one after bad one. And we just like, no, back to back mistakes, back to back horrible, bad choices. And we had to heal from everyone, but we never took the time to up until 4 years ago. 4 years ago was really the pivotal moment and the biggest breakthrough for us. It was like, these people don't love you. They don't care about you. They just want to use you and drain you. They don't want to see you do better than them. They don't want nothing for their life. So why would you think they would want something for yours? You know what I'm saying? They lying, hypocritical, backstabbing, cheating bastards. They the victim, you the villain. You the lying, cheating whore, you the gold digger, which these people is broke as hell, so we don't know how that applies. But anyway, they don't love themselves. They want to project that onto you. You know what we're saying? And make you feel like that because they don't want to deal with the messed up person that they are. You know what we're saying? Which is really sad. And it helps you grow and evolve when you deal with that because we even had to deal with that. We was messed up. We was very messed up because of what we went through in our upbringing and all that stuff. And that's what we had to deal with. That was not on anybody else. That was on us. You know what we're saying? So going through all that back to back, horrible relationships, abuse, loss, and then we left the relationships with less, and we didn't even have nothing to begin with than what we went in with. We barely had anything. We went into a relationship and we left with less. So imagine what's gonna happen to them for doing that to us. You didn't come into our life and make it better. You didn't have our back. You weren't loyal. You weren't honest. You know what I'm saying? Imagine what payment you finna get for all that. So that stuff we had to heal from the struggle that we went through. And we had to acknowledge it. We chose the wrong people. They misrepresented themselves. It was not who they said they were, and they could barely take care of themselves. So why in the world? This is how dumb and naive we were. We thought they was gonna be able to take care of us. No, that wasn't about to happen. Grown men can barely do that. We taking care of them, us, and the kids. Going to school, shows, working, all that stuff. Come on now. That we didn't know better. Well, we knew we should have did better. We hope that makes sense. You know what we're saying? So going through all that 4 years ago, accepted Islam and everything. That's when we really started going through our healing and cutting people off. And we cut some people off shortly before we started learning Islam because anybody from our past, we don't deal with no more. No, don't want to see you, don't want to talk to you. Ain't still angry, none of that stuff, but don't want to see you, don't want to talk to you. Do your thing, get the hell on. Nah, we good. So that's one of the things we had to do. And we hope we don't never see him again. We being honest. Don't please don't have like we cool. You don't like us, we don't like you. So remember that it goes both ways. Because people actually think that they come into your life and have some kind of an impact. We were like, you're not even taking care of yourself. You're not doing nothing for yourself. How are you helping us? You have to make it make sense. So acknowledging that 4 years ago, Indiana decided to accept Islam and start studying and learning and changing our life, letting things go and healing. And it took probably about 2 years in. How long would you? Why are you looking like that? No, I said it.
Any new laws found, you got to get them at least 3-4 years before they really conform.
So we have 4 years.
Yeah, because then you're going to go through hell and high water because they're going to spaz out. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. because they're
He
not.
low key talking about us. Yeah.
Well, they don't know that they're learning something that's actually the truth now. So they get, you get kind of mad about it because you ain't fully under the understanding of how to understand truth because you never been told the truth since you've been alive. No shot.
Like we just said.
No shot.
And we
You
just
ain't been told the truth since you've been alive.
Mm-hmm.
So when you finally get the truth,
you like,
pass out.
Like, what? That's what we did. But one person, we like, wait a minute. So I wasn't supposed to be. So we was with, and then I did.
And I got one more addition. Alongside of what my wife is saying on the waking up and so on and so forth, it's the diet as well. The food is phenomenal.
Yes. See. And you can still eat good. No, I can't eat no pork. No, we still eat good as a Muslim, and we gonna change some things in 2026. Where you can still eat good as a Muslim. It's not the end of the world. Changing your life and waking up and reclaiming your own. That's the major thing, and we talk about that a lot on our show. For those that really listen, and we mean really listen, how Islam has helped us change our life. And we just talked about this with our husband, so he know, like, whether or not we stay together, we no, we not going nowhere. And yes, we saying it because this is the one thing that we've done in our life that we actually got right. Like, we've seen change and result after all the trauma, all the pain, all the heartbreak, the breakthrough and the struggle. This is the one thing we've seen that's actually shown us results that actually helped us heal and change our life and just accept the fact that we was dumb as hell. We didn't know. We was without knowledge. We just accepted stuff because we thought that we had to. We didn't want to be better because we didn't know we could. Just like you said, you didn't know the truth. So why would you want to be better?
Yeah, you can look good.
And we look a whole lot different.
When you look at your old pictures of you,
yep, we just
and the new pictures of you, you're gonna be like, oh.
We said that thing. I came on one of our shows. We said that last week. We looked at the picture from Atlanta, and then the one from now. We look, oh my God, it's a whole difference. Even the past 4 years.
Here go the stunner. The picture of the old you was dying.
That's what we said. We looked at our body like, we know you slim, but damn, you, because we was eating the wrong food, putting the wrong stuff in our body, and then we wasn't even working out. Our body looks nothing like it did 4 years ago. Nothing like it did. So coming into learning Islam, we changed a lot because we realized this ain't working. This is not sufficing us. It's not helping us. It's not helping us grow. None of that. We need to do something different. And when you do that, what people do, they start falling off. Because, like we just said, they don't want better for their life. They don't even love themselves. They don't know how. So, why would they want that for you? So, we just said that, and we're going to keep saying that when you come to that realization and that revelation, you're going to be the bad person, which makes no sense to us. But, whatever.
When all the prophets in the Bible supposed to be bad people, let them tell it.
No.
No, I'm talking about prophets that they persecuted them, tried to kill them, wanted to shut them up, so on and so forth. Noah, what they do? Laughed at him.
Yep.
Ain't no rain coming, fool.
Okay. And they came, help us. Nah. Open that door, everybody did. Yeah. Everybody. But yeah, what they don't want it for your life. People are sad because they want you to do better, but just not better than them. And that's why you can't trust nobody. We learned this at an early age, that life is not fair, this world is cold, and nobody gives a damn. We learned that at an early age, and we took that through everything we went through, and we learned that dealing with people. This world is cold, it's not fair, nobody gives a damn. And that's one thing we learned. That's why we ain't got no problems living without them, moving without them, doing anything. Because we know now. We sense that's one of the things that we had to do and start speaking up for ourselves, start standing up for ourselves, whether they want to hear it or not, don't care. Set the boundaries. Just say you cut us off, you don't want to talk to us no more. We don't want to talk to you or whatever, cool. We ain't got to speak. I'm saying you're not going to talk to us in that kind of way. We're not going to put up with that no more. We set so many boundaries. and learned our identity. We learned who we truly are, our true self, which is a righteous mother. We learn who we are now, and we have to separate from people that don't want that. You know what we're saying? So setting them boundaries, yeah. People don't like that because they can't, control you, manipulate you, lie to you, all that good stuff no more. Yeah, they can't do that no more, and they don't like it. And people, that's you a special kind of evil. Why would you even want to do that? Because you have a lack of love for yourself. You don't love yourself, so you don't love nobody else. You know what we're saying? That is extremely good, Lord. That is extremely sad. You know what we're saying? But remember, they ain't got nothing to do with you. They got something to do with them. So you can't control them. Let them do whatever they think they're gonna do. Even this stuff on this news, we sitting here looking at right now, all this stuff going on in the world. You can you stop it? Can you do anything about it? They're fulfilling prophecy, number one, and number two, they're gonna do whatever they want to do anyway.
Would you?
Yeah. If we could, honestly, no, because what are they gonna do? Stop us? So you got to focus on what you got to do and live your life. You can't control other people, whether they're on this TV or not. You go out here working, driving, talking to people, whatever, you interacting, they talking about you, they don't like you, let them. You know what I'm saying? Let them think what they want to think. Whatever narrative they want to create, they want to be the victim. Okay, cool. Be the victim. But remember, karma ain't got no expiration date. Raphael is on your back, and you ain't get away with nothing. People think that's because time done went by, years done went by. Oh, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Look at your health. Look at your life. Look at everything you got going on. My brother, you ain't good. You look worse than we did. You look like death. Sisters, anybody, you're not good. And you don't even see it coming. You don't even see your payment coming or anything that's coming back to you. That's the best part. Because you think you're doing good, you living good. That person ain't in your life no more. You found somebody better. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Who told you that? You lost the best thing that happened to you. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that. They really don't. So yeah. And we about to take our first break, yeah. But yeah, we have oh boy, a lot of growth and lessons learned, reflecting on our childhood, which made us who we are today, all that good stuff. And we had a lot of growth, a lot of evolving. We learned a lot through our 20s and our 30s, especially our teenage years. We learned a lot early, going into our 20s and our 30s. Now we're going into our 40s, and we finna take everything, especially with Islam, and we about to do stuff a whole lot different. Yeah, so for the people that's already mad at us, they about to be furious. Yeah, because you're not gonna stop nothing. You're not. We don't want your life, whatever people in it, whatever you got, that's for you. Cause you ain't got nothing, especially if you ain't got the truth. So we don't want nothing. We on our own path, a whole different one, getting them what we need to get. So speak up for yourself. Um, things, how can we say, from our childhood, the things that we've learned still live in us today. Now we know how to do it the righteous way, all that good stuff, all the trauma and the needing the love and the acceptance and all that stuff. We learn how to do that the righteous way now, and we learn how to give that to ourselves. So that's one of the major things from our childhood that still live in us today. But yeah, we tell people reflect on your youth. Don't stay stuck in them because it's gone. But you need to look back on it and check yourself and see why you are the way you are. A lot of people don't want to do that because that means they got to hold themselves accountable. We did because it had a huge impact on our whole life. We did. So the things that we went through and the things that we learned, now we know we have to give it to ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves and rely on ourselves and trust in ourselves. So that's one of the major things that we learned that we still carry today. We don't still carry the pain, the trauma, all that stuff, the abuse. No, we don't carry that. We carry the lessons that we've learned, and that's it. Start speaking up for ourselves, putting our foot down, standing on whatever we say, getting our own identity separate from being a mom or wife, all that stuff. We had to, because otherwise we're gonna keep doing the same thing over and over. And we all know a definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over, and you think you're gonna get a different result. Absolutely not. That's something that we had to learn. Like that figure eight, that infinity symbol, you're just going in one direction. Or if you want to use the little hamster on the wheel scenario, either one. But you're going in one direction, doing the same stuff. That's the other reason why we don't want what anybody else got, because that's what they're doing. They're going the same circle in one direction, ain't doing nothing different. Why we want to keep repeating that? We ain't jealous, baby. They ain't. The one thing that people mistake with us is that they think we built like other women out here. We not. Ain't no comparison, no competition, but says we not built like you. We are not. We never were. Otherwise, we wouldn't have went through what we went through. We went through everything for a reason. And we knew that young, but we didn't tap into it like we should have, because once again, we didn't know how. Now we do. And we know. And you can call it cocky, whatever you want to call it, we don't care. But we ain't built like y'all. We are not. And that's why we don't fit in. You already know. We ain't built like a lot of people. That's why you don't fit in. But why would you want to? That's when it hit us like a couple years ago. Like when people started doing stuff, like, cause you different. You special. Yeah, you special. You unique. And that's what everybody want to do. Keep up with the Joneses. Do what everybody else doing and all that stuff. Nah, do your own thing, man. What if they you gonna be able to stop that? You gonna be able to stop them from talking about you or judging you? You can't stop that, man.
One interjection. Out of all the supposed black successful people, who are they more surrounded by than black people?
White people.
The ones that used to eat
you. Yeah.
That's
it. But yeah, be yourself, man. That's basically what we getting at. Find yourself, honor yourself, and stop winning. Whatever you went through in your childhood, remember it made you who you are today. Don't hold on to the pain. Don't hold on to the past. Just remember what you learned from it, whatever you took from it, and use it to help somebody. Don't go out here and take it out on people that ain't did nothing to you, because people do that too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have no daddy. I don't know how to love nobody. Okay, well, let somebody show you. That's not an excuse. Our dad died. Oh, we didn't even mention that. Our dad died. We was about 2-3 years old. We carried that for a while too. We had to let that go. He's gone, and that's one of the other reasons why we got with the wrong dang on men. Well, we don't even call them men, little boys, because we didn't have no father figure. We didn't know. There's a lot of stuff we didn't know, and a lot of things we exposed ourselves to we did not know. And we ain't got no problem saying that now. We did not know. Now we do. And we know we not built like other people. We weren't meant to be. We wasn't meant to be in them so-called circles anymore, them so-called groups, whatever you want to call it. We wasn't meant to do that. We was meant to stand on our own and be on our own and do our own thing. And we're not even really alone. We're not. So yeah, this whatever you took from your childhood, remember the lessons that you learned. We cannot say that enough. Remember the lessons that you learned. Don't hold on to the pain or whatever. Your parents did the best they could. If you didn't have the ideal upbringing, whether you did or not, take whatever lessons you learned from it, turn it to a positive. For all my sisters out there, you got questions, you want to holler at us, we're gonna give y'all social media at the end of the show. We got you. But it made you who you are today. You know what I'm saying? You the one got the power after all that to decide, what am I gonna do with these bricks that was thrown at me, these stones that were thrown at me, and how am I gonna make it better? How am I gonna do better? You know what we're saying? So all that stuff. And it's up to you. Whatever you're going through, it's up to you to make your life better, worse, in between, whatever. And we cannot keep saying that enough. So we're gonna stop running our mouth for a minute, y'all, and take a little break. play some music, and we will be back on the Queen Mimi podcast on another episode of our Sunday Positivity Talk. All right, y'all. And just like that, we are back on the Queen Mimi podcast on another episode of our Sunday Positivity Talk. So, y'all, for those that have heard real talk and real topics, y'all heard our husband. He come in, give his teachings, give his little wisdom and knowledge and all that good stuff. And for those that are just joining us, we talking today about, your childhood, what we say, your youth, your growth, and your voice, and honoring the woman or man, that you are today. So we're gonna let our husband come on for a second and share a couple words. So baby, we know he's talked to us a little bit about his childhood,
Ooh.
things that he's seen and everything he's gone through and everything he done learned and all that good stuff. And
Wow.
pretty sure, finding his voice and his journey and all that stuff. So we're gonna let him have this segment and he about to talk, y'all, just so y'all know.
What do you want me to
Just
tell you how it started?
Yeah, just like a little bit about your
To
childhood.
now?
Yeah.
Are you gonna hold it? I gotta hold it.
You want us to hold them?
Yeah, I'm right. I'm getting into it.
We can get the other one. Hold that.
Anyway, like we were saying, okay. Brother Mikhail Muhammad was born a whole different name. First off, we can't go through the birth right now, but we're going to go through what happened after the birth, so on and so forth. However, 5 years old, I watched my grandfather get murdered right in front of me. We were sitting there trying to put the blood back in his head while it was leaking out of his head because we didn't understand what was happening at 5. 7 years old, we go to Mississippi. We're supposed to be playing cops and robbers. Everybody goes in the house and get their parents' guns. We come out, boom, 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 boom. Tommy decides to actually pull the trigger. Blew my cousin Toby's head clean off his body. He was headless. 7 years old. 5. Born in Philadelphia, grew up on the south side of Chicago. Went to grammar school. First day of grammar school, I had to fight 5 people. Then after I fought them first 5 people, I had to fight another 5 people. Because it was 2 gangs waiting outside the school every day, and you got to choose, or you got to fight them every day.
Okay.
So every day in grammar school from 4th grade all the way to 7th grade, every day fighting till we picked a side. Boom, started taking martial arts at about 11 years old. So, when people wanted to fight, we wanted to make sure we could whoop them, and we did very good at that. However, we grew up deaf, dumb, and blind. And then we adapted that metal, that Christian gun, listen to the words, that Christian gun, because black people don't make guns. That Christian gun. Then all of a sudden, that became my new identity. We'll hustle on the block. Got into altercation with about 20 guys. Knocked a couple of them out. They pounded on us. Woo woo. They came back the next day. We shot all 7 of them that came back. And chased them. While they ran, we ran after them and kept shooting them. Now, we just get used to this story real quick to say the environment that we come from was very volatile. We got off with the truth while we was in volatile state. We said no, right? 12 months later. This is why we always be reminding our wife. It was 12 months later.
Because we did the same thing.
12 months later. Hey, look, this got to stop. What is going on? We got arrested every day. I don't care if we went out to have to go get us something to eat, a bag of chips, gas in the car, got locked up. Everywhere, like they was waiting on us. We've been beat up and jumped on by the police so many times, it's unreal. But we also beat the police back up. However, don't ever put your hands on me if you ain't a real G. However, all right, long story short.
So how did all that shape?
All that brought us to the current where we at. We didn't give y'all the military stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all that. You know what I'm saying? But you want me to get in the military?
Yeah.
Okay. Did 3 tours, first Gulf War under that lion, dead Bush. And you can try to check me if you want to, but him and his whole faculty can be dead to us. We could care less. Anyway, 3 years of my life in tours, left for dead, POW, and I had to kill 250 people to get out of there. So I blew them all up. That movie you watched called The Born Supremacy, that's about me. Because we tore through that whole city, knocking anybody down that got on our way till we got out of there. However, get back to base. The first thing my CEO said to me, he said, "You're supposed to be dead. Why are you still alive?" So I took the whole base hostage for 8.5 hours. You don't believe me? Norfolk Press, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia Press. That's the newspaper that interviewed me after I took the base hostage. Superman takes the base hostage for 8.5 hours because they left him for dead in Afghanistan. That's how I read. Now, the guy that interviewed me, of course, the government killed him. The lawyer that I hired to sue the military, and he was supposed to be a Muslim. Paid him off. So what we're saying is, all that happened, right? Then we come back to the United States of America.
United States of America.
Back to hell in a handbasket. Sodom and Gomorrah in his modern prime. Oh, yeah. Come back here, boom. All right, man. I run into my guy. He telling me Islam. Nah, man, I got to get paid. I'm selling drugs, doing whatever I got to do. Boom. See him 12 months later. Hey, this ain't it.
Same thing we said.
This ain't it. We can't tolerate this no longer. This is not it. Boom. He take me over to a certain place. We sit down, they teach, we learn, we get our books, and then we took over. Because the righteousness woke up. Remember, you got 2 chromosomes in your body. One's evil, one's righteous. Your choice, which one you want to live with or die with. Because one got to die, one going to live. That's another topic. We can't get in there right now because we don't want to hog up her podcast. Mm-hmm. And we just saying, no matter what your past is, you can be better. And Allah will forgive your past. And you can get a brighter future, a brighter day with a smile on your face. No matter what you go through, it's just really all a test. And as long as you keep passing your test, the better it gets. The more you fail, where you at right now? How's it looking?
Highly doubt it's looking good. Highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. So what does it mean for you to stand in, Islam, being a brother minister in your truth?
Well,
under righteousness.
To wake up, reclaim our own. Of course, under Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings. Mm-hmm. It's given to him by Allah in the flesh. Listen to the words, y'all. Allah in the flesh. Master Farad Muhammad, to whom be praised forever, the great Mahdi, is taught to us by the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad, is in the flesh. He's a human form. You're a human form. If he created you in his likeness, then that means he has to be a human because you're a human. Let's not go stupid. So once we learned these critical facts and understood that we have the blood coursing through our veins that come from a God, then why am I living a peasant's life? With nothing. Got to struggle. Fight with my brother and sister every day. Family, fight with them about family disagree. No. Family's supposed to agree. We're supposed to be a unit, a team. So what it taught us is that if you don't have a unit or a team, you'll never succeed. If it's just you and just about you, you're never going to succeed. You're always going to fail because you don't have the. I'm about to get y'all this old word we hate using. Everybody, it's called the kindred spirit, what y'all like to call it. But it's really called brotherhood and sisterhood. And according to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach, if you don't have brotherhood and sisterhood, you will never have nothing ever. No matter how you move, no matter what you do, it's going to run out. And if it's all about you, what's the slogan they gave you? Born alone, die alone?
Yep.
You want to adopt that? You want to get your insurance policy so you can get and buy you a funeral plot and a headstone already certifying you're going to die? Or you want to have twins at 500 like Moses? My bad, 551 years to be exact. He had twins. Now, how do you explain him getting to 500-something years old and y'all can't make it past 100? So that was the enlightenment for us. That's where it got us to where we are now. That's how we became a lost found, and then a registered Muslim, and then brother minister under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because you don't have to buy a certificate. You don't have to go to nobody's school. You don't have to do nothing. All you got to do is go to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's School of Islam, which is called Muhammad's University. You will be the best black man or black woman you can ever be on this planet. With a smile on your face. I don't care if you go outside, your car got 4 flats on it, you're like, I got insurance.
Which is basically what we was getting at.
And we're done.
Not that we competing. Everybody done went through hell. Like we said already, sure, it's one person that has not gone through hell or suffered or lost. That was the whole point of bringing, our husband on, so he can give y'all a little. I'm saying his backstory and all that. Why we can't talk.
We didn't say nothing about the what you just said, health. Let me hit y'all with this right quick. My bad. We forgot to pardon us. We've been pronounced dead 4 times. Paralyzed from the neck down. Paralyzed from the neck down. Blind for 2 years. And we came out of all of that. We just left that out our bad. Buggy. But go ahead, man. My bad. We just throw that in so you can finish what you were saying because we didn't give him the whole boom.
We all done been through hell and hot water. We all done suffered. Unless you was born, we already said, with a silver spoon in your mouth, you wasn't no struggle. But for the people that do, ain't no competition, ain't no who been through more, ain't no, okay, your story is less important or more important than mine. But your childhood, your teen years, your 20s, 30s, whatever you done been through, however stupid you was, like a husband said, we was blind, deaf, and dumb, all that stuff. You got the power to change all that, change your narrative, change your path, get rid of the people in your life and wake up. You know what I'm saying? You still in the grown adult, blaming other people for what you went through and what they did and all that stuff when you know they couldn't do better. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? You find your voice, you find your strength, you find your closure, or however you want to do it. It was for us, and we're gonna keep saying this over and over. We found Islam, it found us. Who the hell cares? We got it. You know what we're saying, and we want to honor and just embrace who we are now. We went through way too much and then lost way too much, suffered way too much to let all this just go to waste, and we not being better. We go back to anybody from our past, we don't care who it is, or deal with anybody from our past, or accept that and keep going through the same stuff, we haven't learned nothing. So if anybody says that to us, we even, they said to y'all, like, look, man, we not taking steps backward. We not spinning the block. We done learned our lesson from that and we done moved on. We can't help how you feel. We can't control how you feel. And you know what I'm saying, we really don't care how you feel. But this is our life. People that don't want nothing for themselves, they're not gonna want it for you. They only support you as long as you ain't doing better than them. People use you and they can get whatever from you, all that stuff. But they want you to be silent. They don't want you to stand up for yourself. Find your backbone, stand in your truth, stand tall, hold your head high when you walk. Because we all done went through that phase. We walk with our head down because we're ashamed or it's a habit or whatever. Change it. Change it. That simple, that easy. And the only person that can do that is you. You know what I'm saying? Honor who you becoming, embrace who you becoming, especially under the truth. You know what I'm saying? For my women, you can still be soft and be strong. You can still be resilient no matter what happens or what you've been through, what comes your way, any of that stuff. You know what we're saying? And you find that. Don't dwell on the past, but remember, yeah, I done been through a lot and it's made me who I am today. When we accepted Islam, we stopped speaking to people and stopped dealing with certain things and you know what I'm saying, all that drama and all that BS and all that. That was when we really started to stand in our truth and really step up and claim who we are. And like we said, everything we doing now ain't to be viral or be popular. But we just hope our whatever we talk about, our shows, whatever, it reach the right people so they can heal, get inspired, and want to get out there and help other people because we can take over the world. We just said that we can take over the world. We come together, get the truth, and shut and stop everything. But we too busy hurting each other, killing each other, taking from each other, stealing from each other, lying on each other. We can't agree on nothing because everybody they gotta be right. They gotta get their point across or my thing or the way I feel. Or at the end of the day and all that, it ain't just about you. It's about other people too. We said this already. We don't know if a lot of y'all are aware of this, but there's other people walking around on this planet other than you. So it ain't just all about you and what you want and what you think you want for other people. Focus on your life. Do what you need to do for you. You know what we're saying? So people that they don't like when you stand tall, they don't like when you stand in your truth. They who cares? You know what we're saying? Who the hell cares? They not looking for it. They don't want to find it. They don't want to be better. You know what we're saying? You do. We decided to. When we told everybody, look, forget y'all, we not doing this no more. This ain't working. You ain't got to like us. We didn't make that decision for no blessing, no approval, or to be like. We didn't do none of that. We did it to save our lives. So we could change our life and be better. So you ain't got to like us. You ain't never got to speak to us ever again. But you're not gonna stop what we doing. You can talk about us, gossip, little slack talk, whatever. But you're not gonna stop nothing. That's all you can do is talk from the sidelines because you ain't even got no access. And them the other people that talk about you, the ones that know they ain't got no access no more. That's all they can do. All they can do is speculate, guess, all that. That's all they can do. So, like we said, listen to our husband's story. Y'all heard ours in the first segment. Those are two examples right there. You can overcome whatever, anything, everything, but it's all in your attitude. Let's go back. If you want the truth, number one, you know what I'm saying, your mental, how you look at the situation, because as Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach, and this is something we've been practicing a lot lately. We've been doing it before, but we're doing it even more now because we are tired of the thing. We got a lot going on, and we running like we're almost on empty, so we have to find the bright side and everything. We got to get out here and be treated like a slave and stuff every day because, you know what I'm saying, we ain't got nobody else to rely on, and we got to do everything on our own. So, you know what I'm saying, we got to find the bright side. We've been doing that a whole lot lately, and it's been helping. It has been helping. We will admit that. So that's something that we had to do. Otherwise, we're gonna lose our mind. This is crazy as hell. But yeah, man, honor who you becoming. Like for real, for real. Honor that. People don't like it. They'll be alright. We went through too many years of that. Yeah, I already heard our husband's story. He went through it too, and we didn't even compare him, but we say he been through a lot. He got his own story. We've been through a lot. We got our own story. You know what we're saying? And we both survivors. You are for anybody that hears this. People, they gonna stop you. They're gonna try to stop you. They don't want to see you succeed. We cannot say that enough. We just learned this world is cold. People don't care, and they only want to use you. It's like you can't trust anybody anymore. There's so much evil and so much hate and stuff going on in this world. Everybody out for self, and then wonder why you can't get ahead. You know what we're saying? And everybody's going through something. Everybody's been through something. Everybody's dealing with something. And it's just sad that people are so damn selfish. They can't see that, or at least they don't want to. We don't even know anymore. But you know what? Despite all that, you can still be better. I don't care what's going on the news. We watch the news to keep up with what's going on, so we'll know what's coming. You know what we're saying? But despite what's going on the news, despite what other people are doing, what they saying, what they think, whatever you've gone through, you heard it already. Whatever you've been through, whoever let you down, hurt you, abused you, lied on you, left you for dead. I'm saying you lost everything because of this person. You couldn't talk to this person. You couldn't be yourself, around this person. You can still be better. Baby, we are proof. And now that we on the other side, you know what we're saying? We want to use our voice, our story, not to put nobody on blast, not to put nobody out there, you know what I'm saying, but to heal, because we still healing. We ain't ashamed to say that. We still healing. Hopefully inspire however we can and, guide women to the truth. Because you can still be a righteous Muslim and still be beautiful, be sexy, be powerful, be confident, be modest. You can still speak up, be soft and still be strong. We can still eat the right foods. We telling y'all we eat good as a Muslim. We telling y'all. It's not what y'all think. You can still eat good and still eat the right things. But man, we're gonna get into that one though, so. But you know what I'm saying? Remember, and I think we said this in the first segment, whatever part of your childhood for us is everything that we've learned, hold on to that. And don't hold on to the pain. Don't hold on to the loss. The letdown and all that stuff is done. It's over with. It is what it is. You know what we're saying? But remember what you learned. Remember how they treated you, how they made you feel. Remember what, how should we say, the version of you is created. We know for us, it's created the most, wow, powerful, fierce, strong-willed, headstrong, witty, sarcastic, a-wife, however you want to put it, cool, nice, laid-back person. I'm saying we stay to ourselves now more than ever, and we're saying we're a brand new version. Everything you've been through can either make you better or bitter, and we'll be damned if we're gonna be bitter. We're not doing that. We're absolutely not doing that. We are a whole lot better than that. And that's something we have to remind ourselves of and realize we are better than that. We are better than what people think, what they say, what they think they're going to do. We're better. So let's be better. All that good stuff. So, what it means for us to stand in our truth is to be different, to stand out, to not be afraid to use our voice, to not be afraid to be unique and do things the right way, to not be afraid to be judged anymore, not be afraid to be talked about, because people are gonna do that. To not be afraid to be the most hated, because nobody likes us. That's how we knew we were special. Nobody likes us. As long as we was cool with them and we were still willing to be a nigga and let them use us and all that stuff, and we weren't doing better than them, we was good. Now that we on a whole different side, and they ain't like us to begin with, they barely tolerate us, but they really don't like us now. Now we understand what our husband meant by being the most hated. When you step on this side, you accept Islam, that's going to happen. Because a lot of people don't want it. They don't want to change. They don't want to acknowledge what's wrong with them. They don't want to go and be better. So you think they want that for you? No, they don't. But like we said, who the hell cares what they want? Especially you're not trying to do nothing for yourself. I don't care what you want. We care about what we want. And we want better for our life. We want to live. We want to have longevity of life. We want to live the best life possible, especially as a Muslim. We deserve that. You know what we're saying? And we can't put no more simple than that. We can't. And we really don't want to. We can't put no more simple than that. You're either with us or you can get the hell out the way. But we are who we are now because of everything we've gone through, everything we've been through, everything we lost, everything we suffered, all the horrible relationships, all that. Everything has built us and shaped us and molded us and created the most powerful version of ourselves possible. We were brought to Islam, the highest and the height of our knowledge possible. It can't get no better than that. We don't see ourselves going nowhere but up. And we know we got a lot of things we're working on with our schedule. We got schedules now. We got things we're doing every day. We be tired as hell, but we got things we're doing every day to be better from within. Make sure we stay on the right side. And we are extremely proud of ourselves. We don't need nobody else to tell us that anymore. We are extremely proud of ourselves. We put in the work. Yes, the door was open, but we put in the work. We could have said no and walked away. Not just from Islam, but from any opportunity. But we chose it because that's what we wanted to do, and it was already in us. So from being a little girl to a teenager to our 20s and our 30s, we're going to be 40 years old in a couple weeks. We don't really have too many regrets. We have a couple, don't get us wrong, but we don't really have too many. We've had a hell of a life with the ups and downs, the good times, the bad times, and the ugly. We started things on our own. We pursued our dreams and our goals that we're still working on now. You know what I'm saying? We've learned a lot. We've grown a lot. We've lost a lot, but we got it all back. You know what we're saying? We changed. We're not the same person, even down to our wardrobe. We changed everything about us. Now we coming with a more powerful voice, a more powerful message. That's why we brought our husband on. We normally do our show, our Sunday Positivity Talk by ourselves, but we wanted to bring him on this morning because we knew he had a story too. But we all got one. But we are a whole different person now, and we just on a whole different level. We hungry, we want it. And we can get whatever we want. We just got to get out here and work. So everything is coming together. Everything is getting better, especially for us. And we don't see anything getting any better than this. We are here now. We're not going nowhere. You know what we're saying? We honor our past. We're not holding on to no grudges or no pain. We embracing our growth and we fully accepting it. And we know we're going to continue to grow even when, not if, when we get to where we want to be. And yeah, we celebrate the woman we are because we're becoming her every single day. And we're becoming more and more like her every single day. You know what we're saying? We cannot wait to see what these next 10 years going to bring, what this next year, these next 6 months, because we're going to be working on it a lot because we deserve it. But anything you want in this world, you got to put in work. And we've been doing that since we were a little adolescent child. So it's nothing new to us. So that's it. That's all, y'all. So what we're going to do, you guys, is we're going to go ahead and take our last break, play some music, and then we're going to come back in, give you guys all our social media, where you can catch the Queen Mimi podcast, and of course, all our other shows as well. Then we're going to go ahead and get our behind out here and get to work. So we'll be back on the Queen Mimi podcast on another episode of our Sunday Positivity Talk. right, y'all. And just like that, we are back on the Queen Mimi podcast on another episode of our Sunday Positivity Talk. So, like we said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and give you guys all our social media where you can catch the Queen Mimi podcast and all our other shows as well. And then we're going to go ahead and get out of here. First and foremost, you can catch the Queen Mimi podcast, our Sunday Positivity Talk this Sunday and every Sunday live, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. You know, positivity, motivation, resilience, sharing our personal story, our personal journey, the lessons that we learned, the mistakes we made, all that stuff. So y'all come through, check us out every Sunday on our Sunday Positivity Talk. And you guys can follow us on our social media as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Queen Mimi Podcast. Follow us over on LinkedIn, Queen Mimi, Twitch, Queen Candy 85, TikTok, The Queen Mimi Podcast, Clubhouse, Queen Mimi 77, and Red Note over on Queen Mimi as well. And you can catch the Queen Mimi Podcast, Queen Mimi Radio Show. We're talking real topics, and the Queen Mimi blog on all podcast streaming platforms: Anchor, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, just to name a few. And we did mention Twitch. You can catch the Queen Mimi Podcast, Queen Mimi Radio. We're talking real topics, and Queen Mimi blog. Same time for each show, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Queen Mimi Podcast every Sunday, radio every Tuesday. We're talking topics every Thursday, and of course, Queen Mimi blog every Friday as well, you guys. And also, and we're gonna make sure we update this. We working on new music now, you guys. We're writing and producing our own music, so we're gonna be releasing a new album. It's been what? Ooh, dang. It's been a while. It's gonna be our sophomore album. Dang, what about we trying to think for 20 years, like 2018, something up in there? 19, 20, 20, about 6, 7 years, yeah, give or take. Since we did our first album, we started and we was doing music. We did write everything on our first album. We didn't produce it, but we still wrote our whole first album. The whole album is over on our SoundCloud, so I can go over there and check that out as well. Wow, we did not realize it had been so long. But yes, we're gonna be releasing and we're working on new music currently, you guys, and we was gonna try to do it this year. We was like, nah, just wait till 2026. It's getting towards the end of the year, so we really didn't see no point of doing all that. So yes, we're looking at our phone right now. So yes, you guys go over to um our SoundCloud, Queen Mimi, and you can see all of our music. Check it out, like, share, comment and everything. Take a listen to it, share with your people, share with your friends, all that good stuff. We have all of our music on there, all of it. We did write it, we didn't produce that, but we're excited about this new music that's coming out in 2026. Thanks to our husband, we have learned how to produce and create our own beats. So this album, when it's released next year, our new music will be written and produced by yours truly. So everything's gonna be coming from this big, powerful, beautiful brain of ours. So we're excited about it. But for now, and we're gonna be updating this probably like in December. You can catch Miss Candy Music on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and SoundCloud. And we have 4 songs on everything but SoundCloud: Soul Survivor, I Am, National Anthem, and Selfish. SoundCloud, you can go under Queen Mimi. We did change the name, and you'll see all of our music. But the other platforms, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, we have those 4 songs available. Okay? Hope made that sense. Let's say it again so we don't confuse nobody. SoundCloud. Go over to Queen Mimi. You can check out all of our music from our first album. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. Go over, type in Miss Candy. You'll see Soul Survivor, I Am, National Anthem, and Selfish. So yes, all of our music is available on all music streaming platforms. So I can go over there and check that out as well. So follow us on all of our platforms. Like, share, comment, purchase, buy. Let everybody know. We greatly appreciate it. Like we said, we're excited. We're gonna be writing and producing this next album. It's gonna be definitely a level up from our first one. So our first one was about pain, purpose, and survival. That was the name of our first album. And this one's gonna be called. Oh, we ain't got a title for this one yet. We gotta get a title together. So we'll let y'all know once we do that. We just realized that we ain't got a title for this one yet, so we're gonna be excited about that. But yeah, we got all that coming. 2026 is gonna be working on some things. The end of this year, getting ready for next year, of course. While we on our break, once we wrap up all our shows. So yeah, like we said, we doing new things now. We excited. We cannot wait for y'all to hear. We hope everybody likes it. We definitely gonna be posting on our social media and yeah, bringing everything together. This is what our hardship and our life and everything we've been through. This is what it has created. So this is where we at now, y'all. And we excited. We cannot wait. We absolutely cannot wait, y'all. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, you guys. Gotta take care of some more things, and we're gonna get out here and get to work. But thank you to everybody that came through and hung out with us today. Thank you for our husband coming on and sharing his story. We greatly appreciate that. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, get ready, and get out here and get our hustle on. But you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, take care of yourself out there, and we'll talk to you guys Tuesday on the Queen Mimi Radio Show. Y'all have a good one.